welcome Kansas representatives to the stage, along with Coach Self. We have Marcus Garrett and Diedrich Lawson. We'll follow our normal procedure. We'll ask Coach Self for a brief opening statement. We'll turn it open to questions for players, and if you direct your question into a microphone and to a specific player, that would be very helpful. Hail a microphone just by raising your hand. And once we've exhausted questions for student athletes, we'll go ahead and turn it over to questions for Coach Self. Coach, a brief opening statement, please.
Well, obviously we're disappointed in how we played, but also how we played shouldn't take away from how great Auburn played. They were fantastic. We hadn't seen an onslaught like that all year in the first 10 minutes of the game, and they rattled us and we didn't respond very well. But I am proud of our kids. I thought that we hung in there the second half and fought. We didn't get a lot of stops, but we did play better second half. But we just didn't have enough ammunition to fight off what they threw at us early.
Let's take questions for Marcus Garrett and Diedrich Lawson, please.
Diedrich, when they're hitting three-pointers like they were early like that, how does that change how you have to defend them?
The whole game plan was to get out to the shooters. We did a pretty poor job earlier, me, myself getting back, and other guys just getting out to the shooters. We let those guys get comfortable, and that what led to the big deficit in the first half.
My question's for Marcus. Marcus, did you feel like defensively that you guys did an okay job? Because it seemed like everything they threw up just went in.
Yeah, you could say that. I feel like we didn't do a good job of getting to the shooters in the first half. But some of those drives where they was losing the ball, just throwing it up, and everything just seemed like it was going in for them.
More questions for Kansas student athletes? All right, we'll dismiss these two and turn it over to questions for Coach Self. Thank you, guys. Questions for Coach.
Bill, it looked like a couple times early, maybe 2 minutes in, you took the one time out, then a couple more minutes later, they just kind of kept swarming and gaining momentum. Did you feel like you just didn't know what to do at some point there?
Yes. The thing about it is it was a bad NCAA rule change when they went from 5 to 4 timeouts because we could have used more of them. But a lot of it's on me. I should have sent 3 back in transition rather than send 2 back. But, you see how New Mexico State dominated the glass, so you wanted to at least give yourself a chance. But the things that you have to when you're playing an athletic team like that, and they're far more athletic and quicker. The things you got to do is, your first step has to be full speed. I mean, you can't run an even race with them. You got to be ahead, because if you run an even race, it'd be hard to catch up. And they had us so stretched out. And now a lot of it was that we never scored. So when you don't score, it's easy to run. But they had us so stretched out the first half or the first 8 or 10 minutes, and Harper and Brown were, as good as we've seen all year long. So, give them all the credit. How we thought we could maybe guard them really didn't come into play because it's a little bit harder guarding in the open court than it is in the half court, and that's where they hurt us the most. I think they had 22 points in transition according to the stat sheet, which I don't know how accurate it is, but I would assume it is, in the first 8 minutes. And so, that shouldn't happen in 3 games. But they certainly did it to us.
You guys played better to start the second half. Offensively, hit your first 7 shots, and you made up 1 point.
Yeah,
how frustrating is that?
Yeah, that's what I told. The whole thing is with the game, the game wasn't over at halftime, even though there'd have to be just about everything go right. And if you go 7 for 7, I didn't realize that's what it was to start the second half. You would think, well, 26 is at least 18 or 16. Instead, it's 25. So, you know, they shot the ball extremely well. I didn't feel like the second half defensively, our energy level was good enough to make them play poorly. You know, we basically hoped they missed, and they didn't. So, you know, we weren't good on that end at all.
More questions for Coach?
Obviously, it's way too early to even start talking about what next season, but you're heading into an off season with, I guess, some uncertainty about who's coming back, as usual.
Yeah.
And coming off a different sort of season for you guys. Do you have some sense of just where you are and how you look at everything right now, Bill?
Well, you know, we obviously there's, you know, Doak and Diedrich and Silvio, you know, are all questions for next year, and certainly maybe other players as well, which we're used to dealing with that. That's okay. The thing about it is it's been a challenging year, but I thought the kids hung in there and did a great job for the most part. I thought their attitudes and everything was terrific, and you know, we didn't muster up enough momentum like some past teams have to probably go on a run like other teams have, but you know, being a 4 seed in the tournament, and so much of the tournaments is matchups as much as anything, and I got to be honest with you, when I saw Auburn as the 5 in our bracket, I'm like going, I just watched them play, and they're fast, and those are the teams we obviously struggle the most against.
Coach, just talk about Diedrich and what he's meant to this program.
Well, he hadn't been here very long, so you know, you know, he's had an All-American type season. You know, maybe not a first-team All-American, but certainly a second and third-team All-American type season. And I hate it for him because you know, he only got to play 2. He and KJ came, and they only got to play 2 games in the tournament this year, and it may be the only 2 that Diedrich plays. You know, he's got to make some decisions, but he had as good a year as we could ever hope for. I don't know that we've ever ridden a guy, you know, maybe Thomas Robinson, but he'd be the only guy we've ever ridden as hard as we did Diedrich. And you wouldn't have to, you know, if you had your full complement of guys, obviously. But you know, he's our best passer, and you lose Doak, so you take away the guy that he can pass it to, which really kind of minimizes his skill set a lot because he is a terrific passer. But I thought he improved. He scored the ball. He put up numbers almost every night, and even tonight, you know, you struggle so much like he did early, and you still come away with 25 and 10. You know, speaks volumes to him not quitting and certainly, you know, playing, you know, the entire game. But he's a terrific kid. I mean, I wish we got great kids. Don't get me wrong, but he's one of the special kids that we've had in our program in recent years.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Okay.